Hey guys, Louie here, and today I'm going to talk about building your pyramid. I did my best to build a silver pyramid here for the purposes of talking about, for the new stackers, what to stack, what not to stack, and most importantly, what to have the most of and what to have the least of, and that is the concept of pyramid, okay? So this is in no random order. Pardon me, I got the cat batting at me as I do this. But here's part of my collection. We've got just a whole bunch of different stuff: constitutional, big bars, vintage bars, silver statues, more constitutional, silver eagles, Scottsdale. Okay, you get the message. There is a lot of stuff that you can stack. And when you're first starting out, you will want to consider what to stack the most of, because some things are very, very seductive. Okay, and the more money you have, the more seductive those things are. Take, for example, these silver statues, somewhere between $50 and $100 an ounce if you're going to mess around with those. Or vintage bars, that can be even more than that. And constitutional ebbs and flows. But what do you want to have at the base of your stack if you are just starting out? So I'm just going to keep this really simple, and you want to have the most of the thing that you can move the easiest, that has the lowest premium. And these premiums ebb and flow over time, so I'm not going to address whether the premiums are high or low at the moment. But generally, when you're picking up lower premium things, that will be constitutional. Okay, I prefer halves and mercs myself. And you might even throw some Cull Morgans in there, etc. But number one, constitutional. Number two, cheap bars. Okay, now I've got some vintage bars in the stack, but let's see. There's a cheap bar there. There's a bunch of random bars right there. Okay, there's some low premium bars in there. And I think, if you're going to have a smaller stack, you probably want to stack the buffaloes. Sorry, I don't have any here to show you. But, of the generic silver bullion, 1 ounce buffaloes, 1 ounce rounds, the lowest premium you can find. And if you're going to have a larger stack, you probably want to move to 10 ounce bars, buffaloes and bars, right? All right, or you might want 1 ounce bars, but those are pretty interchangeable. 1 ounce buffaloes, 1 ounce bars, 10 ounce bars. Okay, and then the last thing, but probably one of the most important, silver eagles. Okay, well, there's some maples in here as well, but you'll want to have silver eagles. And if I was starting out, assuming the premiums are, cooperating, silver eagles, constitutional, rounds and bars. Okay, that is the base of your pyramid. And whatever size stack you're going to build, if it's going to be a really big stack, then you'll want to have a lot of that at the base of your pyramid. As you push up on the pyramid, you can add other coins and rounds. For example, you might want to get other sovereign coins, maybe Philharmonics, Britannias, etc. You may want to move up the food chain a little bit more and get a little fancier bars, perhaps a royal mint bar. I'm not seeing a good representation of that there, or a Geiger kilo, a Geiger bar. Those are kilos down there. If your stack is going to be on the smaller side, I probably wouldn't touch kilos or 100 ounce bars at all. But down there on the bottom, there are some 100 ounce bars down there. There we go. I like the old Inglehards myself. But you don't have to stack those. Any 100 ounce bar is fine if you're going to have a big stack. And here is the cat, as always. Now, that is the base of your pyramid. As you start expanding, you may want to consider numismatics. Okay, and hey, watch out, you just killed Spartacus there. You may want to consider numismatics. I collect peace dollars and Morgan dollars. This is nothing special, just a 1923 MS-64, but just beautiful. Numismatics carry a nice premium and appreciate well over time. Probably better than silver spot price, actually. So you may want to put some numismatics in your stack. But when we're talking about numismatics, okay, these are not numismatics. And this is something that you'll want to, God, this cat just will not bugger off. These are not numismatics, okay? These are semi-numismatics. And at one time I was, no, don't knock that over. It's cattywampus. At one time I was putting together an MS-70 date run of koalas. And some of these are, no. Some of these are easier to find than others, and some you can pay $300 for. This would be an example of something you don't want to do. Don't be a collector when you're building your stack. If you want to collect later when you have extra money, pardon me, I got to set this down or the cat's going to tumble that over. As your stack grows and you have more money, you can dabble in things like that, but that's an example of something you don't want to do. Cat, you are making this really, really hard. The other thing, while you're building your stack, you probably don't want to get into vintage bars unless you find them close to spot at the local coin shop. And they're very much like numismatics. They carry a premium and they appreciate well over time. But when it comes time to liquidate, you want to be able to take the base of your stack, the big silver, the buffaloes, and the eagles, and go to the coin shop and be able to liquidate them quickly, because spot price may be escalating quickly and you're not going to have time to list stuff on eBay and try to get the full value out of it. You're going to be headed to the coin shop. So the base of the pyramid is the box that you don't care that much about. It's basically random stuff, nothing collectible. It is just low premium silver that the LCS is buying. And, that'll be your ticket to capture the higher spot price when it occurs. Okay, so that's basically, that box is the base of your pyramid. And as you move up, you can get fancier and you can go crazy. I mean, you can go absolutely crazy. If you're, really well off, I mean, that's a $5,000 ingot right there. You don't believe me? Yeah, look it up. It's a $5,000 ingot. It's only 5 ounces. It's in the registry of San Francisco Mint ingots. Example of something I probably shouldn't have bought, probably should have bought multiple tubes of Eagles instead of something like that. And someday I'll move that out of the stack, but they're very limited in quantity. So $1,000 an ounce silver. There's a good example of something not to buy if you are building your stack. You want to keep it simple, and you probably don't want to do what I've done and got a little of everything. You want to keep it homogeneous, right? The fewer different things you have at the base of your pyramid, in the middle of your pyramid, the easier it's going to be to liquidate those things when the time comes. The more exotic your taste, the harder it's going to be to liquidate. And, collectibles and even numismatics, when spot is rising, the only thing that matters is the basic silver. The premiums will get sucked right out of these collectible items, and the people will be looking for just silver. They'll be melting grandma's flatware set. They will not be looking for exotic silver when premium runs. I mean, here's a good example of, I've done a lot of buying and selling over the years, and here's a coin here that I don't know what these bring now, $300, $400. They're a very hot series. And if you want to dabble in flipping, man, keep it small and know your exit strategy. Don't assume that you'll be able to sell stuff like a Simpsons coin when the time comes. unless you have experience on eBay or Instagram or Facebook Marketplace. And keep in mind, taxes can be an issue there, because that's all going to be reportable 1099 income if you do it legally. And then you're going to pay whatever. If I paid $100 for that coin, I sell it for $300. Well, great, I made $200, but then there's selling fees and taxes on the income. So if you're going to be a flipper, then research that well. Research the eBay fees well and all the requirements for flipping. And it's treated me well over the years, but it's not. I'd say for 98% of stackers, you're not going to want to flip. You're probably going to want to stay closer to the generic side. And as you buy your silver, of course, have a means of testing it. This is a CCT slide that you can test your silver just by running a piece down the slide. If it goes down slow, you know it's silver. You don't need to have $1,000 Sigma verifier. And with the bigger bars, what you can do is you can run a neodymium magnet right down. You can use the bar as the base and run a magnet down it. And there are specific gravity tests, and there are certainly in many bars there are sizes and of course weights that you'll want to consider. So there we are. That is basically the pyramid concept. You'll want to start generic and cheap premium, and again, constitutional, generic silver, silver eagles. And I didn't used to include silver eagles in the base of my pyramid. I've only recently, over the last couple of years, been acquiring more silver eagles, because the FOMO, when it runs, eagles will run the fastest and the hardest, and your appreciation will be the most. And often constitutional follows that. There is a limited supply. So both of these things, eagles and constitutional, have a somewhat limited supply. Eagles, the supply is limited by the U.S. Mint, and sometimes they go into allocation mode and starve the market. And constitutional, because they're not making any more of it. And right now there's plenty of it out there, and it's pretty cheap. What do you want? It's pretty cheap. So that also garners momentum when there's FOMO. And then you'll get the videos telling you how it'll never go down again right before it does. In regard to fancy constitutional, well, yeah, you can get halves. I like the Mercs, as I said, but you might have to pay up a little bit for that. This cat is just trying to tear my stack apart today. So there you go. For you seasoned stackers, gosh, I got to clean this mess up now. But for you seasoned stackers, what are your tips to the new guys? What do you think they should stack, and in what proportions? And I don't have any gold in here, but I do recommend gold be a serious part of your stack as well. And use the GSR to advise you, when to buy gold versus when to buy silver. And I'll try to help you with that on my website, bestsilvergolddeals.com. These little statues here, aren't those cool? But, when your stack gets to be bigger, you got your 1,000 ounces put aside, and you want to fool around a little bit. Oh man, there are so many things to fool around with. It's just that when you're starting out, you don't want to get lured into the really fancy stuff, right? The semi-numismatic release of the day, it was Simpsons a few years ago. Today, well, I don't know. I don't know what the current coin is. So, just consider your options and consider how you want to build your pyramid before you start, because then you can determine the quantities to have in the boring stuff and the quantities to have in the middle tier, and then the quantities that you might want to play around with in the upper tier. And then in the upper tier, well, you are now in the resale market, because to capture your value on something like that, or a Simpsons coin, or a crazy historic ingot, you're gonna have to sell that retail, okay? And there can be, if you're not going to go through eBay, there can be some danger involved in selling retail, Instagram, Facebook, etc. So consider that well. But I would love to hear your advice for new stackers. And I hope this video has answered the questions I've been getting lately. I've been getting a lot of questions when I talk about the base of your pyramid. Well, it's basically your cheap silver in 3 different categories, if there's any takeaway from this video. So let me know what you think, and please post your comments. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing, and check out my website as well, where I'll help you buy anything you're looking to buy for the lowest premiums on the market today. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful Sunday.